Hey guys, Delt here. Druid was nerfed earlier this week, and at first, it was feeling pretty bad in my opinion. The worst parts of it were the minus 20 base move speed and the 3-second added cooldown on the Panther E. This made it to where you couldn't really escape from rogues or swordmasters if you made one misplay, and honestly, I was even blocking swordmaster's Q with my orb shield and still dying sometimes. But then I changed my stat priority from will, intelligence, dexterity to will, intelligence, stamina, and I was able to survive a lot better in my runs. At the end of the video, there's a couple clips where I also have the dexterity perk, but I didn't build that until I hit the stamina threshold first. So I had all 4 perks, and that build honestly felt really strong. Basically, Druid is still strong, but in my opinion, building stamina is better than dexterity, and now there's a lot less room for misplays. Here's some PvP with the class. I hope you enjoy it. This first clip is against a cryo, and in my opinion, this is one of Druid's easier matchups. You just hit him with a couple lightning and hit him with your trees, and he should be basically dead at that point, so you can just keep chasing him. He has to be low, right? Okay. Did I just drop something? And here's another cryo fight, but this one was kind of just over before it started because I caught him off guard. And this is a warning to not chase DKs too hard. I got a pretty decent opening against this guy, and so I decided to go for it. And then it turned pretty bad because of all the mobs that were around. And when you're fighting a Death Knight, majority of the time, it's just not worth it. Death Knights counter your all-in, but they can't really do anything to punish you for all-inning. And so it's just whoever makes the first mistake loses. And the fights are going to last so long that if you get third-partied, there's not much you could do about it. My mistake was awful tree placement, and then I started to get beat up by mobs, but I knew this guy was really low, so I wanted to just run in and finish him. But at this point, I knew that just full chasing was a bad idea without healing first, so I decided to take a couple seconds and just bandage and then keep going. But I got hit by a skeleton, and now we finally have our third party enter the cryo. He hits me, so I decide I just want to back up a little bit, heal, and then I can take the fight against him. But apparently there's a place where I thought you could jump through that you can't actually jump through. So now I'm really low. He's pushing towards me. All I can really do is all in, and I'm just gonna die at this point, honestly. There's not much I can do here. All right, now we have Druid versus Fighter. You want to get a tiny bit of chip damage first, but after that, you could basically just fight them on your tree in Panther form. I made a slight mistake in this fight and actually got hit by a skeleton too, but it was completely fine. It worked out anyway. Also, if you're using the Drunk Alchemist set, pay attention to what the set actually gives you. I just got a health pot here and then I used one anyway. All right, now that that's out of the way, we're just going to show how awful a Death Knight versus Druid fight really is. They can literally just go on forever until somebody just makes a completely horrible mistake, but that shouldn't happen if you're both relatively decent players. My advice as the Druid player is if you don't get a really good opening, don't take the fight, but I also just don't listen to my advice and I like to fight people, so here's this. Alright, so just watch my health right here. The Death Knight's AoE damage really just destroys you, and that's why you can't really all-in them that well. But if he ever pulls you, you could also just Panther E away, and so nobody's taking damage and nothing's happening, and that's why this fight just lasts. The difference between fighting a Death Knight and fighting a fighter is that when you're fighting a fighter, he doesn't really do as much passive damage. So as long as you dodge a couple swings, your tree should be blocking the majority of it. Whereas the Death Knight, he doesn't even really need to swing and the tree's not going to be blocking a decent amount of it still. And right here we see him readying his charge, so we're just going to try to make sure that we put some lightning in the way of that so he takes some damage, but we're also not close enough to where it's just going to hit us. And this is really dumb to push, but I'm just assuming he's low, hopefully, from all the fighting we've done so far, and I just want to hit him a couple more times to see if he falls over, but he doesn't, so we just continue to do this dance forever. And I wasted this thunderclap because I was assuming he was going to push, but he didn't. So at this point, I'm just resetting. I have no primal energy, and I definitely need that or I'm just going to die. So we'll just heal up, get some primal energy, and then find him again. And now we're on to round 3. I see him charging up his charge here, so I'm just going to try to place my tree in the doorway so he can't escape again, and if he runs the other way, whatever. But that was a bad trade for me, and he used his pull, so I can just E away, and everything is fine with the world again. And at this point, this fight has gone on for probably 5 minutes now in total. I cut out some of the in-betweens, so yeah. And he actually leaves here, so I'm just deciding, you know what? I'm done with this. We're going to go into the next game, and I leave and start to look for a blue portal. But that door to the right was open, and in my mind, as I was passing it, I was like, hey, we could go for another round, but it just, I didn't want to waste more heals. Hey, look, another cryo. Rip. Cookery. Yeah, sure, why not? Dexterity, Fair the Lake. Not bad. Those are on cloth too. And this is another Death Knight fight, but this is one where we had a very good opening. We hit him with our Storm Flask, we hit him with our Lightning Staff, we hit him with Double Tree. At this point, we just chase until he's dead. DK, stop running. DK, stop running. Death Knights feel so insanely tanky, by the way. It takes so many hits to kill them. Ooh, a crown. Alright, and I just wanted to throw this clip in here to show how easy it is to kill a druid who you catch off guard that isn't running stamina. I actually messed up here and didn't charge, but we did hit him with a thunderclap, and so we got a couple more hits on him. And then at this point, I just needed to wait for my Q to come back up. And even though he's running dexterity, I'm still relatively able to keep up with him until that point. He's so low, and I used swords. Got him. Just as a side note, you are never going to run away from a sword master or a rogue. Alright, and to end this video off, we're going to watch me die panicking. So if you enjoyed the content, please just give me a comment, like, or subscribe to the channel. Anything and everything helps, and I really do appreciate each and every one of you who do it. Also, if you're wanting to join a community of people who like Dark and Darker, Dungeonborne, and other video games like it, feel free to click my community Discord link down in the description below. And as always, I hope that each and every one of you have a very great day, and I hope to see y'all next time. Peace.